Alright, so we're going to try some automated penetration testing today, and we're going to use a really cool tool, one of the best in the world, called Core Impact. So let's launch Core. Okay. This is Core 4.0.1. It's constantly updated, so this can change quite a bit. Just let it do its thing here. It's loading its modules. Okay. That's alright. Let's open this up. And we're going to say new workspace. And we're going to fill in some information. We're just going to call this WK1. I'm going to put in Mike and Mike. That's good enough. And get next. Accept the general license. I'm going to type in a passphrase here. I'm going to type in PASSWORD. Just anything for this case. And then you got to move your mouse around here. What we're doing is we're creating a cryptographic salt. So by moving my mouse here in a random fashion, I'm aiding to help it generate some random numbers. So I'm just going to move this around, help it make that randomness. Hopefully it'll like that password. It may not, but we'll move this around and get this going anyway. And it says it's done, so I'm going to click next and finish. Great. Alright, so here we are. Another thing I'm going to do really quickly is I'm just going to turn off my firewall. Yeah, okay. So, here we are. I've got my local agent set up on my local machine, and I'm going to start with information gathering. Okay. I'm going to click next. And I'm going to type in a range of addresses here. I'm just going to use the 20 network. That's on our target range. And I'm going to click next. I'm going to say fast. A fast information gathering is fine with me. And we'll click OK and let it do its thing. Alright, so now it's going out, it's processing, it's finding stuff. It says module hasn't reported anything yet. Well, hopefully it will soon. Okay, it's already found 2 hosts. It's going to keep getting more information. Now notice all I've done so far is just launch this and say find out all the information you can. And it's going to determine whether it needs to port scan, ping scan, whatever. It's going to do its thing. This really is point and click hacking, and it's the slickest thing in the world. Now notice a little Windows sign has popped up next to this target already, so it's already identified the operating system on this. Let's just double click that. Now notice it says Windows 2000, architecture is i386. Let's click over here to see if it's found anything else out. This is the ports and services button. Click that, and look at that. It's already found all the services and ports running on that machine. Let's click up at the top again and see if it's enumerated any users yet. It hasn't enumerated any users yet, but it'll probably get there. How about this one? Now you notice there's a little penguin face that popped up on that. So just like we did before, we can look at all the ports. Take a look at the sort of summary of the computer. It's a standard default Linux. Okay, so now we know a little bit more about it. Let's actually compromise this machine. So I'm gonna select. Let's see. I'm gonna double click attack and penetration and let that launch a wizard for me. All right. Next. Okay, so what do I want to attack? First of all, I'm going to select both machines here. I'm going to go back to that wizard again. I'm going to select both machines. Targets. I'm going to say both 45 and let's see, 55. So I'm going to separate them with a colon. Sorry, that's a semicolon. 192.168.168 20.55. I'm going to click next. Okay, I'm going to leave both these default boxes checked. That basically says use exploits that might leave a service unavailable. That's fine. And stop at first deployed agent. So I'm going to let it just get to that first agent, and we'll see that in a second, and then let it finish. Basically what it's going to do is it's going to try and exploit these machines and give me a shell back to those machines. Now how it does that is by installing what they call an agent. And so I'm going to let it attack, and I'm going to stop at that first agent and see what I can do from there. So attack penetration, it's giving me some information here. Okay, it's telling me the particular exploits that it might try against these machines. Let's take a look at the debug window and see what's going on. This is what's actually happening. And we'll expand this a bit so we can see it. So it's uploading the code. It's decided what machines are vulnerable to what types of exploits, and now it's uploading the code. This is a beautiful hacking tool. I mean, I literally haven't done anything yet except click a couple buttons, and already I've discovered some machines. This software has decided what they're vulnerable to and exploited the machine. In fact, there's one already. If you notice that little arrow sign, that means we've already exploited one. So let's open that up, and there you can see our level 1 agent. So let's right click on that and see what options we have. Browse files, upgrade to level 1, that's an even deeper agent. Or we can go to the shell. So let's look at the shell first. And if we just type the help here, here's the list of commands we can use. Now this isn't a full-blown command shell. This is what they call the mini shell. And it has a limited amount of commands, but let's just do a PWD and see where we are. inet pub script, so it must have used some sort of HTTP or IIS exploit. Let's do an ls and see what's in this folder. Okay, so there are not too many files in here. How about we do an ls c well, that's actually cd up one, and we'll cd up again, and we'll do an ls here and see what's here. Aha, so how about I cd over to WinNT, and there's all the goodies. There's the WinNT folder. So at this point I have a limited console access to the machine. I've got root level access, but I don't have a full-blown console. If I wanted a full-blown console, what I could do is exploit to a further level. What I'm going to do, though, however, instead of exploiting to the further level, I'm just going to see if I can browse files via this. Oh, and it's just yelled at me saying I'm already running a module, and that's this module here. So I'm gonna stop there. But this just gives you an example. If I wanted to run a scan, or if I wanted to further my attack, I could do that by installing more and more agents, upgrading to higher level agents, and so on. And eventually I'd have complete control of the network. And all I have to do is click a couple buttons, say attack this machine, and Core Impact will go out, find what it is vulnerable to, compile an exploit on the fly, exploit it, and then send me back a nice little command prompt, quick and easy. So that's the type of power modern day automatic penetration testing tools have. And this is one of many. There's also Canvas. Metasploit is that open source one. And this is the future of penetration testing.